Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States.
Hello, gentlemen, mother, other women I'm not allowed to have dinner with, wife. What an amazing day it is here at the Kennedy Space Center. President Trump has re-envisioned what it means for America to go back to space. And that means we are going to the moon again. Why now, you may ask? Well, we want to be the first ones back to the moon in the 21st century. Except for China. They don't count because they're not white. But we do need to make sure that they aren't building anything on the dark side of the moon. I just saw an eye-opening film by Michael Bay about this, mother, and I rented it last Tuesday thinking it was about how the moon changes shapes. But, to the contrary, this documentary proves that there is an evil, potentially gay, robot on the other side of the moon. Now, I am just a man, but at heart, I am a boy from a small Indiana town, not gay. I remember the first moon landing. I was just a few months old, but boy, I wish I could go back. We really had values back then. Children never questioned their parents, and women never wore pants. Those were the days. We haven't been to the moon in a while since those days, and look where it's led us. Men in this country look at other women like they're their wives and mothers in public. And the other day, I saw a woman wearing jean shorts above the knee. This I cannot stand for. Maybe if we can return to the moon, we can also return to those values too. What we did not have was definitive proof on if the moon was made of cheese, but now we do. Now that we know the moon is not, in fact, cheese, we have lost our morals. We have lost what we stand for as Americans. It is similar to what the scripture tells us, that science and learning is the devil's work. That is why, in order to go forward, we must once again go back into the graces of God. We must go back to the moon to right our previous wrongs. Now, some people might say, wait a minute, this seems pointless and like a real waste of money. Real waste of money, that's the Special Olympics. What type of unresolved problems are on the moon that none of our other landings managed to find? Well, folks, I'm here to confirm that the rumors are true. There are, in fact, homosexuals on the moon. Moon homos. These moon men lack the American family values that President Trump and I have sought to reinstall. Now we must go to the moon and fix them. Otherwise, the moon will be nothing but European art and Lady Gaga music. Except for the soundtrack from A Star is Born. That's masculine. We're talking about the 2009 chart topper, The Fame Monster, that completely changed the genre of electro-pop for years to come. My aides wrote that part. We are living in terrifying times. I can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. And so, my fellow Americans, it is time to right the wrongs. Mark my words, we will be going back to the moon, no matter what the electric bill is.
Hello and welcome to Michigan Time. I'm Jackie Berger and we've got a great show for you. But first, did you hear about this? The drugstore chain Walgreens is going to start selling CBD products in select stores. This isn't that new of a development. Their cashiers have been selling CBD products on the side for years. In other news, it was recently announced that the first Democratic debate will be held in Miami, Florida. Miami is the perfect place for the Democratic debate because it's a hot clusterfuck of too many old people just trying to keep their head above rising sea levels. It's really representative of the pool for this year. Some more political news. In honor of Women's History Month, Samuel Adams, the brewing company, has announced a new Ruth Bader Ginsburg-themed beer. While I haven't been able to go out and try it myself, I hear it passed the bar exam. Speaking of old people, a woman in Nebraska gave birth to her own grandchild last Monday. Doctors have been calling it an unconventional path for babies. But I don't know. The Targaryens have been doing it for years on Game of Thrones. A British woman in London was rushed to the hospital 2 weeks ago due to a stroke after nearing an orgasm while receiving oral sex. So no head, said her boyfriend. Speaking of not getting any, Robert Kraft, the Patriots owner, was arrested for soliciting prostitution weeks ago. Last Thursday, Kraft's attorney requested that the video of Kraft with the masseuse at the day spa remain private. Looks like Brady isn't the only one with deflated balls here. And finally, in some personal news, last Thursday was my dad's dog's Ozzy's 2nd birthday. Now, maybe it's just me, but I can't help to notice that this dog is definitely crying in the picture, is he not?
He's not crying. You're just projecting onto that dog.
I'm not projecting. What on earth makes you think I'm projecting? That dog is definitely crying. This has absolutely nothing to do with my daddy issues or anything like that and never ever having a meaningful happy birthday. The point is that dog there, definitely crying. Although repressed childhood traumas don't make me cry, you know what does make me cry? Climate change. I'm going to be blunt with you, my folks. In terms of terrible things that can ruin the world, climate change falls right in between a new plague and the creation of a Lilo and Stitch live-action remake. Yeah, Disney, you done fucked up on that one. Please just stop murdering my childhood. Although my letters to Disney have gone unopened, student activists are taking action in the fight against climate change. 2 weeks ago, a youth-led movement against climate change was held at universities all across the globe.
Stop! Stop!
If at this point you've got no idea why we're striking, then, like, what on earth? You must be utter idiots if you're wondering.
Wow, that was beautifully put. Of course, the University of Michigan has long been a champion of college activism, with the Students for a Democratic Society first being launched in Ann Arbor way back in 1960. The day of protest was no stranger to UMich as well, where thousands of students gathered on the diag to demand that the university take more action to stop climate change. And how did the University of Michigan, with its long-standing history of political activism and free speech, respond? With arresting a group of protesters for trespassing when the group refused to leave the office of the president. That's right, this is all thanks to Michigan daddy Mark Schlissel. The group refused to leave the office until a date was agreed where Daddy Schlissel would meet with the environmental activists to talk more on policy and develop an action plan. The good news is that 6 days after their arrest, the university made an announcement, likely due to the amazing PR that comes with a university arresting their own students, setting a date for the meeting on April 9th. But this does bring up a good point. Why was the university so harsh when it came to these student protesters? Why does the Schliss have some weird vendetta against the environment? And why is Disney just remaking their movies live action style? Well, luckily for you, the U of M Psych department has some fabulous new technology that they've just got in here. This technology here falls into the realm of psychoanalysis and memory. It allows a person on the outside, such as myself or yourselves, to view another person's memories. All you got to do is type in the person's name. So we'll just type in Daddy Schlissel. And then type in a keyword to trigger that memory. So here we'll just type in environment. Then you just got to press enter and...
No, 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 Greek life, burn all of the frats. Merrily, 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 they're a bunch of rats. It's a stupid picture anyway.
Hey, asshole.
Who are you, and what's an asshole?
You, buddy. I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
You don't look like the Lorax.
Yeah, it's called low budget costume. It's none of your business.
Anyway, like, what are you doing here? I'm super environmentally conscious. Yeah, and I'm not a crackhead. I saw what you did there. What? You saw me take my pee-pee out? What? No. You threw the trash in the plant. Oh, yeah?
Instead of the recycling.
We don't have a recycling bin.
Okay, by 2050, the world is going to plunge into chaos and despair because people like you don't recycle.
Well, I don't care. I'll be on my 401k by then.
Okay, maybe real people that will one day want to do something and save the planet.
What? It's fine. I'll just tell them to shut up. Free speech is stupid.
Are you saying you don't? So, you know that's the First Amendment, right?
I mean, yeah, you know what they say. First is the worst. Second is the...
Nope. This isn't even my jurisdiction here. This is fucking Capitol bills. But you have some serious problems. Freedom of speech is what protects me so I can watch my furry porn. It's not weird if you're a furry yourself. Okay, look, if we don't save the environment, none of us will have protection of speech.
Oh my God. You have a point.
I think my work here is done. Do you have any crack?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm never having kids.
Completely get it now. Much better.